All right, let's call to order our Board of Franklin County Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021.
Commissioner Stottlemyre?
Present.
Commissioner Howard?
Present.
Chair Waymeyer?
Present.
Vice Chair Dickinson? Commissioner Dunn?
Present.
All right, now let's have a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
United States of
and to the
America,
republic
to
for
the
which it
republic
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice.
liberty and justice for all.
All right, our invocation today will be led by Pastor Kathy Symes of the Wellsville United Methodist Church.
Thank you. Let us pray. Loving God, on this day of Epiphany, when the light shines so bright, even on the darkest, dreariest of days, we come to you in this prayer. We pray first and foremost for the health and safety of all the citizens across this great nation, and especially those in Franklin County. We pray for their health and safety as we still consider the danger that we are seeing in this pandemic. We pray too for the men and women on this commission and all the staff as they gather together to work, and we thank God for them who are willing to set forth and work for the citizens. We ask that you would bless their work and bless the work that they do, that they would make good and just decisions for all the people. We lift them up in their work today and as they continue each and every day, always keeping citizens forefront in their mind. In your Son's name, we pray all these things. Amen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Correspondence and organizational business, Derek?
No, sir.
You got any public comment, Janet?
I don't have any, thank you.
All right, our consent agenda today, we have a special payroll in the amount of $271.71, minutes from December 30th, and claim vouchers are in the amount of $516,410.08. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Dunn, motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Stottlemyre, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Dickinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Chair Waymeyer?
Yes. All right, our sole item of business today is rezoning application. I believe Larry's on the line, so go ahead and take it away, Larry.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. As you've indicated, this item is a request for rezoning. The rezoning would be approximately 3 acres. This property is located in the northwest corner of the Grace Baptist Church site, campsite, excuse me. And the purpose for this would be to allow for the camp director to purchase that 3 acres and build a new home. The Planning Commission did give consideration to that last month, and they have forwarded a recommendation to you for the approval of this rezoning to rezone from A1 to the R3 single-family residential 3-acre zoning district. The staff has reviewed this in accordance with the provisions of the Golden Case, as well as our subdivision and zoning regulations, and find it is in compliance with the comprehensive plan and all of our other regulations, and therefore support the recommendation of the Planning Commission to approve this rezoning request and to direct staff to amend our official zoning map accordingly. I have nothing further to add unless any of you have questions.
This is Commissioner Dunn. Only question I have is that church camp, is it taxed or not taxed?
Is it, excuse me, Roy, I didn't understand that.
Do they pay property tax or not? That church camp?
I don't believe they do as a camp. It's owned by the Grace Baptist Church, but we would have to check that out with the county appraiser's office or the county treasurer's office. We don't have any records of the taxes here at this office.
Okay, I just didn't know how this rezoning of that whole.
This
that
site
whole
will be
camp-
under separate ownership, so it will be taxed.
Okay,
He's the camp director and associated with the camp, but it will be a separate tract of land. And as such, it would be subject to whatever taxes that other single-family residences are being taxed within the same general vicinity with the same values.
okay, that's my only question. All right, thanks.
All right. If there aren't any more questions, would anyone like to make a motion to approve rezoning application 2010-1796?
Commissioner Howard, I'll make the motion.
Mr. Dunn,
Commissioner-
second.
Commissioner Howard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Dickinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Commissioner Stottlemyre?
Yes.
Chair Waymeyer?
Yes. All right, down to staff reports. Derek?
All right, thanks, Colt. Got a handful of things here. First, and all of you should have gotten an email from Casey on this, but if you haven't pulled up a Franklin County webpage, please do so. Our new website update has went live. I know her and Dustin have put a whole lot of time into that, so definitely appreciate both of them for their efforts. I think it's fantastic. It is night and day from where we were prior. I think it incorporates our branding well. As with any kind of tech update, we're going to be working out kinks for quite some time. And so as you have the opportunity to kind of tool around with the web page, if you see things that don't appear right, or if you think there's other information that the public would like, please reach out to her and let her know, because that's something that we can change and modify fairly easily. So very happy with that. I know I talked with Commissioner Stottlemyre. He at one point went over and checked out the remodel. I'll say it again. If all of you haven't had the opportunity to do that, you ought to. We got our certificate of occupancy this week, and the contractor needs to finish up a few odds and ends here to get it officially finished. Our furniture is slated to be in on the 12th, and so, if we stay on schedule, it's conceivable that we could start moving in next week. Certainly hope to be the week after. So perhaps by the end of January, we might be in there now. That's not to say that the space is going to be entirely functional. We still... we need to figure out what we're doing in our conference rooms, for example, and just furnishing like the reception area. I mean, there's going to be things that are going to take us a little bit of time, so it's not going to be like we flip a switch and it's exactly what it's going to be. But I do think we can start getting staff in there here in short order. So excited about that. And Rick, you can stop me if I am mistaken, but I'm pretty sure this is Commissioner Howard's last meeting. And certainly I am not the type to give sappy speeches, but I will tell you, you all have heard me for years talk about how pleased I am with my staff and the progress that Franklin County has made over the last several years. And as all of you know, basically everything of any significance runs through the county commissioners. I mean, I have a $10,000 spending allowance, but typically if it goes above 5, I bring that before you. Every pertinent policy decision that we make runs through the board. I say all of that to say, if you didn't support what we were doing, if Commissioner Howard didn't support what we were doing at the staff level, he could have attempted to stop that. All of you could have attempted to stop that, but you haven't. Rick has been here. He was one of the commissioners that hired me, and he's been here ever since, and he's been fantastic to work with. He has supported the growth of this organization. He has supported taking care of our employees, and I will tell you, I greatly appreciate that. And that makes my job so much easier. I mean, all of you know that I'm pro-employee, and to have commissioners that are as well, I mean, that's terrific. And Rick has definitely been one of those. And another thing that I think not enough people realize, you think about some of the things that Paul Bean in his role as FCDC director has been able to do. Paul's been outstanding, and Rick had a critical role in getting Paul Bean hired. And I think as time goes by and Paul continues to do a great job, the narrative's going to change about, him getting put in that position. But certainly Rick vouched hard for Paul, and certainly something that I will think about Rick about as Paul continues to do a good job. So, Rick, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've given to this organization. You guys have a thankless job. My staff and I, we get paid real money to do this. You guys, so often, you bear the brunt of all of these complaints, and I know you have since this pandemic has started. And so, anyone who aspires to do what you do, I have a lot of respect for. So I appreciate you, Rick. Gonna miss you and wish you the best in terms of whatever life holds for you after this. So,
well, I appreciate that, Derek. So I'll just throw mine in there right quick. And I've enjoyed my time on the commission. I'm proud of some of the things that Franklin County has accomplished while I've been there. I know there's a lot of good things in the future coming for the county. It would be nice to stay and been a part of that, but like I said, I'm proud of my time, and I think the staff is amazing. A lot of great employees with the county, and I don't see anything but great things down the road for the county. I will admit, when you brought up that 10,000 spending, I thought maybe you put the severance package together, but that's okay, I guess. So anyway, I'll just kind of, like you said, my last meeting. So, Roy, let me jump in there and get the motion when we get ready to adjourn for my last one, okay? So anyway, I've enjoyed it, and I see nothing but good things down the road for the county. So that's it.
This Commissioner Dunn, let me jump in there too. I really appreciate Rick representing that southwest part of Franklin County. It's sort of been lacking it in the past, and I know the people of Williamsburg really appreciate Rick actually being there and having somebody from that area being on the commission. And like Derek said, I think we all appreciate what Rick's done for the county as a commissioner, and I expect Rod Harris to pick right up where Rick left off and just wish Rick well.
This is Don. I'd just like to say, Rick and I spent a lot of time right next to each other for a lot of years. So we didn't have to look down the end of the table and see who was talking, because we was always right next to each other. And we always got along really well. And that's something that really helps the community when the commissioners get along really well. That's kind of like I always said, and I've always been proud of 20 years. I don't think anybody on the board's anybody's ever voted a Republican vote, Democratic vote, or an independent vote. We've always voted for what we thought was the best for community, and that's what Rick has always done. That's all I got.
Commissioner Dickinson, I'll add my 2 cents. Rick was the chair my first year, and he really showed me what a real leader was. Somebody that can see both sides of an issue and get us to a good decision. I have appreciated your leadership, and I know you've done a lot for the county, and that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rick, you were chair during some pretty contentious times, and we got through it in a professional looking way. Everybody got a chance to speak, and I don't know that everybody was happy at the end, but that's maybe a realistic goal. But you did a great job during some difficult times.
Well, thanks all of you. I appreciate that. Enjoyed working with all of you too.
All right, Derek.
All right. Thanks, Colt. We also, if you haven't had a chance to look, got an employee newsletter out. I believe that went out last week. So we're trying to do those quarterly, and we had our most recent one. So if you haven't got a chance, that should have been emailed to all of you. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at it or don't believe that you've received it, let me know, and I'll make sure you do. Both Casey and Sari, I know, put a lot of work into those, and that's something that we've gotten a lot of feedback on, and our employees seem to really like those. So I'm glad we brought that back, and let me know if you would like us to send that to you again. I'll transition to COVID here. I don't have a lot to say before I turn it over to Nick, other than I am getting a ton of calls regarding vaccines, and I am assuming that if I am, that the health department is as well. And the first thing I want to say is I can't speak for things that are outside of Franklin County's control. There's a lot of frustration because people don't know when vaccines are coming. They don't know when they can plan on getting them. And unfortunately, all I can say to that is my staff and I share in that frustration. We are not sitting on knowledge that the public doesn't have. We have no idea when we are going to get shipments of vaccine. And that we are all becoming increasingly frustrated with that, because our understanding is that there's not a shortage of doses, that the vaccine is out there in ample quantity. There's distribution issues. We have what I believe is a well thought out, robust plan for distributing this vaccine when we get it. So we are sitting here on our hands just waiting, and once we have it, we will implement that plan. And, we've gotten 60 doses and we had them out promptly. And so I would just ask, please continue to call. That's what my staff and I are here for. I'm happy to take those calls, but unfortunately, at this point, we don't know anything in terms of when we're going to be getting those. And unless, and Nick, I'm about to turn it over to you, unless you've gotten info literally this morning, but we don't have that information at this time. So, Colt, that's all I have. Happy to turn it over to Nick.
All right, thanks, Derek. Nick?
Good morning, Commissioners. I want to start just by taking a moment to tell Commissioner Howard, thank you for everything you've done for the county and my department. It has been a pleasure working with you, and I will be missing that. So good luck to you in your future. With that being said, we are busy with COVID. We've got a lot going on. I'll start out with giving you a update on the well health. As you know, well health has set up and started testing in Pomona and in Ottawa at the Neosho County building. And we had some rough beginnings with them, but they've become for us within the community. To date, Pomona has tested 213 people. They've found 172 negatives, 21 positives, and there's 20 pending tests at Pomona. They were not able to be open a little bit due to the parking lot out there not getting plowed, so they couldn't get people through, but they're back up and running now. Ottawa at the Neosho County has tested 185 people to date. 95 have been negative, 21 positive, and there's 70 pending there. So it's nice to have the opportunities for our citizens and citizens from other counties to come in and get tested. And I would say the percentage wise, we're about 50-50. About 50% of the people tested at those locations have been Franklin County citizens, and the other 50% have been counties to our surrounding counties where people have had the opportunity to come here and test. So they do a good job reporting to the state and truthfully make our job easier here at the health department by giving people options at testing. So that's been a good partnership. With that too, we have been working very closely with nursing homes, dealing with outbreaks in these facilities and trying to provide as much guidance and knowledge as we can. And we're seeing that the vaccines are starting to roll in for the nursing facilities. Rock Creek had CVS on site, giving their residents and staff their first round of vaccines. So it's good to see that starting to emerge in our community. And we continue to work hard, as Derek said, on a vaccine schedule and being prepared for the vaccine as we get it. We have been working with the Health Partnership Clinic, and they have been able to give us doses. We finally have that delivered in our possession and plan to start vaccinating the healthcare workers in the community that do not fall underneath the hospital tomorrow. So we'll be rolling out quite a few doses over the next week, getting the chiropractors, dentists, eye doctors, and that group vaccinated within the next week. We do have our sign up going for people to opt in as soon as we do start getting vaccines for our high risk population and general public. Right now we have 1,220 people signed up for that, and we get calls every day wanting to know when that's going to go live, when we're going to get there. And I have been on the phone with people at the state who are just as frustrated as we are with how this rollout's working. And it's all we can do is just ask people to be patient and know that we've got a plan. And as soon as we get it, we will be distributing it. So all of our frontline healthcare workers have been vaccinated. We have had good results from this. We've had no major reactions to the vaccine and are seeing the process work well. So with that being said, I'll open to any questions that you might have.
Commissioner Dunn, Nick, that healthcare partnership clinic, I'm not familiar with that. What is that? I mean, where are they?
The healthcare partnership clinic's located down on Main Street. They are a federal funded clinic that have been slated to receive a lot of these doses and help distribute them throughout the communities, but we are fortunate to have one. They offer health care for individuals that may not have primary care physicians or need care and can't afford it. So they're a good partner. They're located down on Main Street. We really haven't heard a lot about them until we've got into this pandemic and what that's going to look like. But as everything, this pandemic has, I think, strengthened or brought to light a lot of partnership deals that we have neglected in the past or not known about in the past, and we've been able to capitalize on them through the pandemic. So it's a good group. They're located in Johnson County, Miami County, and Franklin County. So we will be working with them. They don't have a large amount of staff, so it opens us up the opportunity to work with them with the staff we have to help distribute the vaccine.
A follow-up question, Nick, on that. Do they have a phone number where people could call them actually too?
At this point in time, I don't know what their plan is to do with the general public. We're working on them with them right now on the healthcare workers and still the phase 1A individuals. And we have reached out to all of those individuals in our community, provided a list with them, and worked that way. I'm sure as we get into this and find out where they're going to be at with vaccinating the public and the high risk, that we can get more information for you on that.
Nick, this is Derek. My understanding at this juncture is that they have turned their doses over to us, correct?
That is correct. The doses that we have for healthcare providers, we provided them a list, and they have given us those doses. So they're in our possession, and we're responsible for the distribution and the secondary distribution of that.
Right. So, Commissioner Dunn, to answer your question, at this juncture, the Health Partnership Clinic, we asked them to turn their doses over to us just so we could centralize this vaccine distribution as much as possible. And this first shipment they've gotten, they've done that, and provided, we can continue to handle the distribution. My hope is that's how it continues to work, because that allows us, we know that giving the secondary booster shot on the appropriate time frame is absolutely critical. So our thought process is, if we can keep as much of this in-house as possible, track it on one system, that we're likely to see the most efficiency and effectiveness that way. And so, but it could be possible the Health Partnership Clinic seemingly has a more reliable source than we do. So I don't know where they've gotten this shipment of vaccines, but they are federally funded. So, but in terms of the state and how we would get ours, we've been given no reliable info. But we'll continue to work with them, and we will administer as many of their allocation in terms of doses as we can. So hopefully that helps answer your question.
Yeah, that answers it. Only other question is, CVS, are they just going to do the nursing facilities, or are they going to do public vaccinations?
Yeah, Nick, you can supplement this answer, obviously, but my understanding is they are contracted, CVS and Walgreens are contracted to provide vaccines to those long-term care facilities. I have not heard anything about them doing vaccines to the general population, but it stands to reason that they do flu shots, for example. So as this becomes more common, I think they will in the future, but I don't know in terms of time frame. I don't know when that could be. So
that answers all my questions. Thanks, Derek and Nick.
This is Commissioner Dickinson. I have one comment and then one question. last week I was driving by Neosho County and I decided to do a COVID test just to be able to report how they do it and how it worked. And it actually surprised me. It is not a up your nose test. It is a spit in a vial test, which was pleasantly surprising. So if anybody is out there and doesn't think they want to get COVID tested because of that reason, then this is a great opportunity to get tested. They're there, I think they said Monday through Saturday, at least through the end of the month. They do ask that you register beforehand at gogettested.com. And then you just drive through there and they ask you some questions. And anyway, I did it on New Year's Eve day, which was a Thursday, and I got my results back over a holiday weekend on Monday. So I think that the timing was good, and it doesn't cost anything. So anybody that wants to get tested, that is a great opportunity to do that. And then my question is, I was at the health department yesterday, and our workers at the health department have not yet been given a vaccine, and I wondered where they are in this, in your schedule.
Our workers at the health department have been given the vaccine. We have some individuals that have to wait due to some situations, but we have rolled that out and had the opportunity to give that to our health department individuals and our EMS people. Like I said, we do have some individuals who do not qualify at this time, and we'll, as soon as they have the time frame in which they can take it, we'll give it to them.
Answer your question there, Ryan? Hello.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So anybody else have a question for Nick? All right. Nick, do you have anything else for us?
I don't. Thank you, and have a good week.
You too. Thanks a lot. David Lee, tell us about Public Works.
Good morning, Commissioners. As you are probably aware, the new year started with a snow and ice storm. So we had our road and bridge crews as well as our noxious weed folks out plowing and spreading material on our hard surface roads about 7 a.m. on Friday morning. And that work continued until around 2:30 Saturday morning. So we ran 2 shifts to clear our hard surface roads. Just to remind you all, we have 5 of our end dumps that we can put plows and material spreaders in that we utilize during these winter weather events. Each truck is responsible for approximately 40 miles of blacktop, and 1 load of the salt and sand mixture that we spread on the roads covers approximately 8 miles before the truck needs to return to the shop to be reloaded. We also utilize 2 of our smaller noxious weed trucks to clear snow and spread material on our county parking lots and on the subdivisions throughout the county. Now, we did miss a couple of county roads this time around, Montana Road and Labette Road near the I-35 bridge project that's going on right now. We assumed that since those roads were barricaded by KDOT for the construction project, that the contractor had taken full responsibility for those roads. We were alerted to the problem early Monday morning, and we immediately sent out a truck to clear both roads. And I contacted KDOT when I got to the office to visit with them about this, and we now have a better understanding of areas of responsibility in those situations. So this shouldn't happen in the future. We did not begin clearing snow and reshaping our gravel roads until Monday morning. Generally, we wait to begin clearing snow on our gravel roads until well after the event, unless we have a significant amount of snow and or deep drifts caused by heavy winds. We were prepared for and expected both heavy snow and drifting, but neither really materialized during this storm, so we held off on sending our folks out, our blade operators out to do that work until Monday. Part of our decision on this, in addition to the amount of snow and the lack of drifting that we expected, there was ice came in before the snow started, so we had a layer of ice on that gravel, and we felt like if we shoved that snow off, that the ice would actually cause a worse situation than leaving the snow for a few days. That those guys have been kind of working on that all week. And just so you know, in the times where we do send our motor graders out, when we have the heavy snow and the large drifting snow events, those guys spend approximately 18 to 20 straight hours clearing their district. So it's not a small endeavor whenever they get started. So we feel like the condition of the roads prior to being so dry that this moisture will actually help in the long run. So we've got guys out working on that now, and we're hoping that we get a few dry days here and the sun eventually comes out, and that moisture will really help us reshape the roads headed into the heart of winter here. So that's all I have, and before I take any questions, I would like to thank Commissioner Howard for his years of service and the conversations and whatnot that we had during my early tenure here. It really helped me understand what was going on down in his district, and helped me lead the Road and Bridge organization to have a positive effect on that area. So, Commissioner Howard, I thank you and wish you good luck in your future endeavors there.
Thank you for that.
All right. Looks like you must have covered it all, David.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Janet?
Good morning, Commissioners. Just wanted to remind you guys that Monday is the reorganization meeting. Monday is our reorganization meeting. So we'll be sending that agenda out. Dustin and I are working on it right now to get it all ready, make sure that all the boards are on there that you guys sit on. If you've taken up anything new this year that we didn't discuss at the reorganization meeting, I'd appreciate it if you just kind of give me a call, drop me a note, an email or something, so that we make sure to get all of them on there. I am aware that we added the Heartland Works Board, that Colt is the official representative to, but I'm going to be the one that attends those meetings. So that will be added to the list for this year, although it's likely you guys would still just have Colt be that person, just because we just appointed that in October. So if you have anything else that you feel needs to be on that agenda, I just, while this call was going on, got an update from the census, and we will not be able to do any redrawing of the boundaries or have any of the census data that we will be able to do the redrawing the commission district lines from the census that we just completed, because those results won't be released until likely mid-March or early April. So they're working really hard to get those out, but with the delay, with their people being able to go out because of COVID, they're not going to have the results to us in time to be able to get that done this year. So we'll likely take a hard look at that next year, but that has to be an item on your agenda, so we will have that on there. So any questions, just let me know.
All right, thanks a lot. Commissioners' comments, board reports. I am.
This is Commissioner Dickinson. I attended the Franklin County Food Policy Council meeting on Monday. The Connect Food Pantry starts again. Well, it started yesterday, but they have decided instead of going weekly, they're going to go every other week through March. Then they also did some updates on the Pathways grant that is hopefully going to be able to provide fruit and vegetables to some of our food deserts. Harvesters gave a report. They are actually upping their what they provide to their distributors because they are making sure that nobody goes hungry in the state of Kansas. So I think there are opportunities if people are having shortages of food, that there are opportunities out there. I was very privileged to be able to provide some employee recognition service awards. Yesterday, I was at IT, the IT department, the health department, public works, at the jail, emergency management, one of our court officers, at the appraiser, the building and maintenance, and the register of deeds. I was also able to, I had some business at the treasurer's office and was also in the city clerk's office. So it actually was a very good day because I saw more of our employees in person than I have, I think, in the entire last year. This morning at 7 o'clock, I was at Road and Bridge to present some of our awards to some of our hardworking Road and Bridge guys. You know, it was great to be able to do that, but we really missed being able to really provide them, you know, a whole county-wide recognition. And then, you know, our nice, usually we provide a nice breakfast and a time to be able to just congratulate each other. So, Derek, I promised them all that when COVID is over, we were going to have the biggest bash that we've ever had. So you might be making sure that the gals know that we're going to have a big bash. And Rick, just one more thing, you know, and the county, the HR ladies mentioned this yesterday, and it's something that I've thought about a lot this year, that not only have we not been able to recognize our employees for their years of service, but we've had a lot of good people that have retired in 2020 that we have not been able to have retirement receptions for, and been able to really thank them for their years of service. And so, if this would have been a normal year, we would have had a nice reception for you and been able to really tell you how much we appreciated you. So sorry we couldn't do that, and sorry we couldn't do that for all of our retired employees. And I believe that's it for me. Thank you.
All right, Dawn?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, well, I got cut off, and then it came back on, said I was muted, and then halfway, a minute or two later, it said punch star 6, and it unmuted me, so I'm back on the air again. Okay, I and Roy did to go over to the sheriff and county attorney and juvenile detention yesterday to give service awards out. That was real nice that we was able to do that. It was a poor situation that we have to do it like we do it, but I'm glad we at least got to do it that much. Really, there hasn't been too much other going on. I did call David and let him know that I'd had some good comments on the road cleaning. I know we were real fortunate in a way. It wasn't good that our employees had to work on a holiday, but it was good that not near the people needed to get out because it was a holiday. So it kind of was a double-edged sword. It did take a lot of the traffic off the road and let them be able to do their job better. It's just too bad they had to do it on a holiday. So that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Dawn. Roy?
Yes, just wanted to say I looked at the newsletter and also the website, and both of them look real good for the county. So it's a privilege to give out these service awards to our employees to recognize their loyalty to the county and the hard work they do for the county. Really appreciate their service. One other thing I wanted to bring up to my fellow commissioners is the Chamber of Commerce annual banquet is coming up here towards the end of the month, and I know they're planning for it now. And I know they've been working hard with our local businesses to try to help them out as much as possible, you know, during the COVID shutdowns, and keep our small businesses going the best they can and promoting their small business. And I'm suggesting, and I'd like my other comments from my other commissioners, that we support the chamber and their banquet as gold sponsors. I'll be glad if my other commissioners feel the same way about this. And anyway, that's what I wanted to throw out, and I think we need to take action pretty quick because they're making plans for that annual banquet right now as we speak. So I'm going to just throw that gold out and see if there's any other support to be gold sponsors for the Chamber of Commerce annual banquet. It's the 22nd to the 28th of January. It's going to be out at the Prime Grill and Fusion Alley, and you could with a ticket you can either have a couple of meals out there or you can go bowling. So it's a little bit different, and it's going to run for 5 days. So that's all I have.
Any idea what the cost is on that, Roy?
Pardon?
Yeah. Colt, this is Derek. I can answer that. Roy has brought this up to me, and I looked into it. There are 3 levels of sponsorship. A bronze sponsor is $200, a silver sponsor is $375, and a gold sponsor is $750. For a gold sponsorship, you get 8 tickets listing in the program and on the televisions there inside Primetime Grill. So, and to be clear, they're calling it an annual banquet, but it's not intended to be, as Roy said, like a one-time like meeting. It's a week whereby you can go in and just have a meal. So if you're interested in the gold sponsorship, it's $750, and that would include 8 tickets. And then the number of tickets obviously goes downward as the level of sponsorship goes downward. So can definitely answer any other questions you have on that. Thank you.
Commissioner Dunn, again, if we decide to go with this, we would have 8 tickets that we could distribute to our employees as another, like a blind drawing for employees, give them a little extra. So anyway, I'm willing to take any comments from my fellow commissioners or anything like that.
Is there any interest in joining at, I guess, which level? I don't know. Rick, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I probably would not be for going in at the gold level for this. We've had a lot of other things we've had to cut back on with other organizations. So I would not probably be for the gold level, maybe one of the lesser ones.
All righty. I don't disagree. Ian, what are your thoughts?
This is Commissioner Dickinson. I think I was just trying to think that last year we had 3 commissioners and 1 employee that attended. I'm not sure if the employee's ticket was bought by the county, but I know the 3 commissioner tickets were. I don't know. It's a different year, and so we could do a different approach and just because it's not a banquet. I'm not sure that I, as a commissioner, would want to attend as be a part of it. But I think to support the chamber is not a bad idea. Maybe not the gold, but if the next one down, if there's maybe 5 tickets we could give. They are also having their they're silent auction, and I think that if you don't have a ticket, then you cannot be a part of the silent auction, because that's one of the things that they give out. But I do think that in fact, that was one of the things I was going to bring up, is that I do think that we can support the chamber. So however it turns out, whether we want to buy tickets for the commissioners or do the table and give them away, either way, that's perfectly fine with me.
All righty, I'm hearing interest from you at the mid-level, it sounds like. What about Dawn? What are your thoughts?
I'm only going to say the mid-level and leave it at that.
Okay, all right. Sounds like we got a consensus at the mid-level then.
And to be clear, Colt, the mid-level is a silver sponsor. That's $375, and that includes 4 tickets listing in the program and then listing on the televisions. And so we would have 4 tickets to allocate however you would see fit. Thank you.
All right. I guess you'll need to know at some point whether or not we're attending. I don't know if you want to send an email out or not. I probably wouldn't if it's just a free dinner. I'd happy to give mine to an employee.
You need a motion. If you need a motion,
Yeah.
motion to go with the silver level.
Mr. Dunn, I'll second that.
All right.
Commissioner Dickinson, how do you vote? Commissioner Dickinson?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Commissioner Stottlemyre?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Chair Waymire?
Yes. All right.
One quick question then, will you just ask employees that are interested to put their names in, so that you don't just put everybody's name in and some of them wouldn't be interested in going?
Yeah, I'll talk with Casey and Sari on the best way to go about that. Off the cuff, I don't know exactly, but we'll make sure that, yeah, we gauge interest, and then however we do it, it'll be random, obviously, so.
All right. I think we were with Commissioner Dunn. Do you have anything else, Roy? Oh, sorry, Rick.
I just want to, this is Commissioner Dunn. I just thank fellow commissioners just to show the chamber that they worked hard to try to help our small businesses during this last year. So I thank all the commissioners.
All right. Thanks, Roy. Rick?
I don't really have anything. Appreciate all the kind words. We'll miss working with all of you guys, but if this COVID doesn't lift, I'll definitely be around for a while, so I might get a chance whenever you get back face to face to come by and maybe get my 5 minutes in up there or something. So I will say that on the meetings, of course, one of my boards was the tourism, which we have kind of put on hold through all this pandemic, so I haven't had that meeting. And my other board was Prairie Paws, and they've been doing off and on Zoom meetings, and I really haven't stayed involved with that, and I've talked to them about that during this, and they understand. So those will be ones that reorganization will have to address, and whoever takes over Prairie Falls will have to probably get back in touch with them, and if they want to attend their Zoom meetings or however they choose to carry on with that for a while. So that's really all I got. I just want to throw out there, Nick, talking about the vaccine. We're not the only ones having the issues. My daughter is a nurse in Arkansas, and she's had several COVID patients that she's been assigned to, and where she works, they haven't got the vaccine for them yet either. So a lot of places are dealing with the same issues.
Yeah. All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Was there any staff or commissioners need to have any other questions or comments? All right, then, Rick, would you care to do the honors?
I would make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Don, second.
All right, all in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.